Chapter 2. Where did I go wrong? Man, you won't believe who I just ran into today. Who? Shyla. Yo, ain't that the girl that just lost her family a few days ago? Yep. And I think I might be able to do something with that. Boy, you wild. I'll holler at you later. Alright, bet. I spent 10 whole years in a joint and finally came home to this bullshit. Never thought I'd be struggling this bad while living in Plainview. I went to the penitentiary with about $500 in cash and another $8,000 in dirty money. I'm talking about pure white cocaine, and plus a few pounds was put up in a safe place that my mom always knew about just in case I ever went to jail. No, $13,000 wasn't enough to retire off of, but it was enough to keep the ball rolling still. Now look at my dumb ass over here starving. I had to steal my neighbor's meter just to get my water back on. My mom was a nurse when I went in. Now I swear it looked like she smoked every piece of white she can find and gave the weed to my sister and her boyfriend, and only God knows what happened to the money. One thing for sure, my mom was definitely a fiend now. Throughout everything, she never let anyone touch my shoes or clothes. If nothing else, I had to stay fresh at all times. My dad really didn't fuck with me much since he said my attitude was too much like his, but he did give me an old-ass 2002 all-black Expedition just to get me started back at life again. After being out for about 2 months and realizing where I'm at now, reality sank in, and everybody got me fucked up. It all started when I was about 5 years old. I used to live with my foster mom, a nice rich white lady. She didn't have any kids and treated me like I was her own. If any of her prejudiced friends didn't like me, she would cut them off. We also went to the park at least twice a week. Then out the blue one day, we get a knock at the door while I was helping Miss Nancy bake cookies. When she opened the door, we was both shocked. An older man who looked just like me. "Can I help you, sir?" asked Miss Nancy. "Yeah, I came to get my boy." "Excuse me? That's my son. I'm about to adopt him." "No, ma'am. The courts contacted me and said I had 30 days to come and get my boy from you. Here's all the paperwork here." Miss Nancy snatched the papers from his hands, and tears started to flow immediately. "Okay, I understand. Can I just have him for one more night, please?" "Sure. But I'll be here to get him first thing in the morning." I didn't know what to think as Miss Nancy stood there in disbelief. But we never finished our cookies. Miss Nancy just held me for the rest of the night. The next morning came fast. We received a knock at the door at around 9 a.m. This time, I answered the door, and it was the same man. "Hey, son, I'm your daddy. You ready to go with me?" "No, you not. I ain't going nowhere with you." Let's just say we left like a scene from the movie Losing Isaiah, kicking and fighting. Growing up at my dad's house was rough. It was obvious that I was the bastard child. I had a brother and a sister that he took care of by himself. Half the time he didn't know what he was doing, but he always showed love. Tough love. I knew deep down he wanted the best for all of us. Around the age of 17, I started doing my own thing. We grew up on the north side, so being a young black man, the only question I had to answer was blood or cuz. I chose rolling 60s neighborhood Crips and made a name for myself pretty quick. Pops was okay with it until his house started being shot up every night. Luckily, no one ever got hurt. Just hated me more. I was the reason he wasn't the only son. Now I was putting his life in danger. Oh, square. My dad took his anger out by kicking my ass every time he had to replace a window or fix a wall for being shot up. I can tell he was tired of my shit. One day I was handling business with my boy Zeke. That's my right-hand man. He got my back, and I got his. Not often you would see us together unless it was at a wild party and we all going dumb or a business transaction. Most of the time it was business, and he was one of the very few that I can actually trust. This day we just happened to be at the barber shop where we usually serve the fiends at, and this lady walked up to me. I can tell she wasn't here to be served, though. "Yo, what you need?" "Are you Eugene?" "I'm not sure who that is anymore, but I am John Doe." "I'm your mother. I was told that I can find you here." She handed me a piece of paper with her phone number on it in small writings that read, "Please call me." I didn't know how to react. We left the shop early, and I went home just to lay across my bed and reflect on what just happened. Who the hell am I? Should I call her, and what would I say? About 2 days later, I decided to call her. It was awkward at first, but then we was able to relax. She explained to me that she was young and on drugs when she had me and decided to give me up for adoption since my dad was married at the time and she didn't know how to raise no baby. She's now a nurse making good money and wanted to make up for lost times with me. I really didn't know how my dad would respond to me talking to her, but I really didn't care. It was time I got to know who I really was. About a week later, my dad came home from work and I had everything packed up. He walked in and asked, "Boy, where you going?" "I'm moving out," as I stood up from the couch. "About damn time. Where you moving to, though?" he replied. "My mama's." That's when he flipped. "After all the shit I do for you, you running that bitch?" "That bitch is my mama, and she loves me now." I left my dad's house that night after being there for 11 years, but I was ready to do me. Enjoying my freedoms at my mom's was definitely a lot. I can come and go as I please, no school, and no rules. My mom's house was starting to be the party spot all throughout the town. All you heard was, "John Doe, John Doe." Everybody in my city loved me, and I loved my city. But one day, all that shit changed. I was hanging with some new boys on the block, and they asked me to come through so we can split up some new shit that we had just went in on. But it felt funny from the gate, because we never made phone calls. We just knew to show up. But I said fuck it, and just went anyway. I'm headed to these niggas' spot, and I get to the corner of Stadium and Grove, and look who's in my rearview mirror. Yep, the cops. These niggas done set me up. Next thing I remember was the judge saying 10 years fed time. Day for day. Now I hear my ass 10 years later thinking, where the fuck did I go wrong? Ring, ring, ring. Oh, that's Shorty from the other day calling me back. Well, thank you for calling me back, Miss Shyla.